Hi everyone, my name is Fashanu Oluwabumitoluwaleyi and I'm the convener of the Game Changing Nurses Hub. And if you are currently watching this video, yes, you're in the right channel. Please do like and subscribe so that when I post a new video, you can get a notification. Welcome back. This video is specifically for my nurses that are seeking licensure in New Zealand. Okay, so for those that don't know, I'm officially licensed to practice in 5 countries of the world, and yes, New Zealand is one of them. And this video is specifically for those that would like to seek licensure in New Zealand. First off, please make sure you subscribe and share this with all your nursing colleagues and friends. So let's get started. I think the first thing you have to do is that you have to be a registered nurse. I did my application around September last year, and there has been quite a number of changes to their website if you are an internationally qualified nurse. So I'll be telling you what I did and some of the changes they have made. Okay, so like I said, you have to be a registered nurse in any country of the world, and they've divided the process into like 3 steps. The first one is registration with CGFNS. The second one is with the New Zealand Board of Nursing, and then they've introduced a competence assessment test. So the first one, you have to get registered with CGFNS. For those that are seeking licensure in USA, you will understand how CGFNS works a bit. But even if you are registered in US, you still have to create another CGFNS portal because the one for New Zealand is different. It's the same pattern, to be honest, but it's like a different portal entirely. All you need to do is put in your email address and have a password, and then you have your portal. And you have to put in your educational background, your work background, English proficiency, your address, and all those details. And then it's going to generate some forms for you. Now, you also have to provide identity documents, which is your passport, your birth certificate, if you're married, marriage certificate. And note that all these documents have to be notarized. So what do I mean by notarized? It has to be confirmed by either a lawyer, that's a solicitor, or any notary public. So you can go to any approved post office and they just have to stamp that those documents are legit. Now, if you don't have access to maybe a post office or a solicitor, they also have an option on the CGFNS portal where you have access to a CAM notary. All you just have to do is to pay, and then you will have access to an online lawyer that is going to verify those documents, and then they would tell you to send those documents and put their stamp, and then you can present it and it will be accepted. Another thing is some of these generated documents, you have to also verify that you're a registered nurse in any country. So if you're a registered nurse in Nigeria, you still have to do a verification with Nursing and Midwifery Council of where you're practicing. And I don't really know how much that costs at the moment. And with the changes, especially for nurses in Nigeria, with the changes with Nursing and Midwifery Council, I really don't know how that is going to go. So if you are registered with any nursing council, you have to do a verification with them. And then you also have to verify your educational background. So you have to let your school send a transcript to CGFNS directly. But in my case, I had my student copy of my transcript, and it was notarized. So I notarized it with a lawyer online, which was the one provided on the CGFNS portal. If you have that option, you can go for that option, but they might not give you that option. I was thinking that maybe because I already had an account with CGFNS with the one in US, that was why I had that option. I'm not really sure about that. So if you have that option, all you just have to do is to notarize your transcript to before it can be accepted. Once you verify all your documents and you submit, you have to pay I think $300 and then CGFNS will go through all your documents, do all the verification, and once they are happy, I think it takes like 5 to 7 working days, they will send a copy to New Zealand Board of Nursing, and that is where the second process starts. So once they send a copy to New Zealand Board of Nursing that they're happy and you're a registered nurse and all that, New Zealand Board of Nursing will send you an email, and once you get an email, they will send you a link to a portal. It's called IQN, that's internationally qualified nurses. All you need to do is to go into that portal, you create a password and all those things, and it's going to bring your details, your name, address, and all those things. You just need to verify that they are all correct. Once you verify that they are correct, there are 2 courses that you have to do on that portal. It is completely free, but it is compulsory. If you don't do it, you're literally going to delay yourself, because I think before it takes like almost few months, maybe 2 or 3 months, for you to get allocated to a case assessor online that will assess all your documents that's received from CGFNS. But now it takes about 5 to 6 months, because they usually send a mail that they are receiving high volumes of application. So the process to becoming a nurse in New Zealand now is longer. So those 2 courses are compulsory. It is all about cultural competency, just knowing what their cultures and ethics are in New Zealand, and all you need to know practicing as a nurse in New Zealand. So once you do those 2 courses, there's a test after each course. Once you pass, you'll be issued a certificate, and all you need to do is to upload those certificates on your portal. Anytime you get a case assessor or supervisor, they are going to start communicating with you, and you will receive an email. So when I did my once I submitted my document, and while I was waiting, they sent me a mail to do a fitness to work. It's like a criminal check background, and I think it's about $140 or so. I can't remember how much I paid, but yeah, it's about $140. And you have to put all the countries. So once you go through that link, you are going to put in all the details of all the countries you've been in the last 10 years, that you've lived in the last 10 years, and they will do their checks themselves. So once you put the details, they're going to reach, if like for example I lived in Nigeria, they reached out to Nigeria, they reached out to the police people in UK, and once they are happy, you will not get a copy, they would communicate back. It's just to show that you don't have any criminal background and stuff like that. Once they are happy, you keep that. But now with the new changes, I think there are a little changes that they've made now. That came while I was still waiting for a case assessor. And when I got a case assessor, they just went through my profile. They were happy with my documents and everything, and then I got licensed. But now they have introduced another competence assessment test, and it is for internationally qualified nurses, and I think they said they were going to kickstart in June. So I want to assume that should have started. When you check their website, there's still not enough information about how they're going to go about all this. But they did not specify the nurses that will be exempted, because if you're practicing in UK and Northern Ireland, I don't think you have to write the competence assessment test. But now they did not really specify the nurses that will be exempted or those that will not be exempted. So if you are internationally qualified nurses, I want to assume that it's at that point where you get an assessor, you will know if you will be writing the assessment test or not. So they have divided the test into 2, the theoretical and the husky. and the theoretical is going to be done by person view. So if you have any, so I think that can be done in any part of the world if so far you have person view in your country. And it is a 120 questions divided into two parts, part A and part B. The part A is majorly medication safety, and the part B is your nursing knowledge. And I think you have 3 attempts. So if you don't pass it on the first attempt, you have 2 more attempts. And the exam itself costs $140 New Zealand currency. Now, on their website, they said that if you fail any of the parts, whether part A or part B, you are allowed to receive the parts that you failed. And the receipt for the part A is $32, while the one for the part B is 108, or is it 104, 108 dollars. But the other part, which is the husky, that one can only be done in New Zealand, and with the information on their website, they only have 1 center in New Zealand. I don't know how they want to do that, because obviously with the number of international nurses that will be writing the exam, they might probably need to have more centers. But at the moment, they just have 1 center, which you will have to do it in New Zealand. And you will have 2 days of orientation before the exam, and that one is compulsory, and it's $500. That's expensive. And then the real husky exam is $3,000 New Zealand currency, and the receipt is $3,000 New Zealand currency. That is really expensive. So if you're an internationally qualified nurse, you need to have start, and you want to work in New Zealand, you need to start preparing that amount of money, because that's not beans. And the thing is, the husky is also a 10 station, and it's 120 minutes. No, it's 3 hours. So the husky is 10 stations, 3 hours, and I think each station is 12 minutes, 2 minutes to read the question, 8 minutes to do the procedure, and 2 minutes to move in between the stations. The theory, I forgot to mention, is 180 minutes. Okay, and according to them, if you fail the husky, you have 2 more attempts to resit it. So this is so far the information that we've gotten on their website. And once you pass, you will be you will have an opportunity to apply for the certificate to practice in New Zealand. So the difference between this new one and that last one is that before, once an assessor assesses all your documents, they will let you know if you need to do a competence test and a competence test or not. So I don't know if it is also at that point you would be assessed, and they will let you know if you will be writing the exams or not. After they are happy, you've passed your exams, they are going to issue you an APC certificate, and that is just to it's a proof that you can practice in New Zealand. And I think I paid $60 that was about £48 for me, because I paid in pounds. That was about £48 for me. So once you go through all that process, you can literally practice as a nurse in New Zealand. I hope that you found this video very, very useful. Please share with any nurse you know that might be interested in practicing as a nurse in New Zealand. If I get any more information, I'm definitely going to update you guys about it. All right, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you some other time. Bye.